Hello, SAT and EST students. Welcome to a new session. We're gonna talk today about big picture question with teacher Shuru Ismail. Okay, let's start. What is big picture question? Big picture question is a kind of a question that requires a leap from the specific details into a general idea of the passage. So we don't go to details or specific details. We don't need the details. We need to make a jump from specific details to go to what? To the general or the larger idea of the passage. In order to understand how to solve a big picture question, we need to understand a point. We need to know what kind of passage it is. So I need to figure out the kind of passage I have. Okay? Is it a fiction passage or is it a non-fiction passage? Okay? Why? Because according to the type of passage, I'll have my own technique of solving the question. Let's start with the non-fiction passage first, and then we go to the fiction passage. Okay, for the non-fiction passage, in order to solve the question, the big picture question, I need to identify my topic. I need to identify my topic. How can I identify my topic? Is it just by reading? No, it's not by just by reading. We need to have our own technique to know how to identify. Here, the topic, first of all, the topic means a person. The passage is talking about mainly, or a thing, or an idea. Okay, this is the primary subject. Let's have a look at this example and we're gonna understand how to figure out or how to identify the topic easily. Here, this passage is talking about a woman called Otogake. Okay? And here I highlighted her name. And then I find that he's talking about her still, but in a different way, rephrased it by saying she. And then he said again, talking about her. You see, her own calligraphy. So still talking about Otogake. After that, he said her again. So he talked about Otogake again. And then he said here, again, her pottery and her calligraphy, all of these. So all of these, okay, show me that the main topic that I have here, my main, okay, let's write it. My main topic here, or the topic that I'm talking about here, is this woman who's called Otogake. Okay, so now I understand half of it. The next half is to ask myself a question. So what about this woman? What about Otogake? What does the author want to say about her? Okay, my answer to this question will give me or lead me to the big idea or the big picture question. The answer to the big picture question. Okay, let's see. Let's see here another example. Here, talking about, let's highlight it. Okay, let's highlight dark matter. Talking about here dark matter. It's so still talking about it. Okay, scientists know that it again. So he's talking here about dark matter. Okay, and then he repeated it. Just a second, let's see where else to find it. Okay, fundamental forces, whatever, astronomers were beginning to discover first moved away from Earth, proof of the universe whatsoever. That movement was occurring too quickly to be explained by the star's gravity. However, this finding, okay, it again was only possible because the presence of matter here, talking about the dark matter, will not be perceived visually. So here, this is the main idea, or this is the main topic he's talking about. And then here, he's talking about, here, he's telling you you should pay attention to some words in your reading, while reading. You need to pay attention to words like the point. It shows you what comes after is important, or the point isn't. Okay, key, goal, okay, important, significant, central, Okay, all of these words are important to me to figure out the main point I'm looking for. Okay, very nice. Okay, okay. If we come to fiction passages, will we deal with it in the same way? Of course not. We're gonna find a totally different technique. The fiction passage has its own way. Here in fiction passage, there is no argument. So I don't find an argument that I need to focus on so I can find the main idea or to answer the big picture question. Here, I need to follow certain steps when it comes to fiction passages. Okay, here I'll say everything while we are answering and practicing this question. These passages do generally focus on a particular trait or quality of a character. Please. So here I need to focus on the characters. When it comes to fiction passages, I need to focus on the characters. Not only that, their quality or traits. Not only that, I need also to focus on any change or shift that happens to this character. I need to focus on if there is a setting. I might need it. Okay? If there is an order of events, I'll need it too when it comes to fiction passages. Okay, here something that I need to pay attention to while answering this question. If I'm reading this passage, I need to just highlight the major transitions because they are signposts telling you here are some important data or something which is important that you need to focus on. And of course, unusual punctuation. Okay, unusual punctuation like what? Like semicolon, like colons, dashes, quotation marks, italics, all of these. Okay, okay. Fiction passages can be structured. Okay, fiction passages can be structured more unpredictably than non-fiction passages. Okay, so you find that the structure, okay, of the fiction passage is not predictable like the non-fiction. Why? Because the fiction passage can have some techniques like a flashback, so the events are not are just you have something that the author refers to that was in the past. So the order that is written is not the real order that happened actually, or the actual order of events. Okay, we'll see in the practice that we have. Okay, sometimes you'll find that you need to figure out the sequence of events. You need to figure out the sequence of events that you have in your passage. This will help you if you deal with the fiction passage. Okay,